What's up, guys? Bringing you some breaking news on how to make a lot of money with the auction house merge. The auction house is going to be disabled for listing new items for 49 hours, but that does not mean that you cannot have your items on the auction house. You can still buy things on the auction house. These are just the times where you're no longer going to be able to list anything. So, if you want to have items on the auction house with very limited competition from other players, list all of your items with 48-hour timers starting if you are in EU around April 17th before 2 a.m. So 2 a.m. UTC time on April 17th, which should be tomorrow or today depending on when you're watching this video. List all your auctions now for 48 hours. You will actually be able to get probably a little bit higher than what you're generally going to get for them, because as time progresses, the auction house is going to lose all of those listings. There's not going to be anyone undercutting you guys. Only the listings that have been listed for 48 hours will actually appear on the auction house on April 18th and April 19th for EU. Same thing can be done on the North American servers, but we start a little bit later. We start on April 18th is the lockout at 7 a.m., meaning that anytime before April 18th at 7 a.m. in the morning, you're going to want to list all your items up there for 48 hours. And yeah, list small quantities. You can again list for higher prices than you're typically seeing on the auction house, because there's no one going to be selling items on the auction house besides you and a few other select players that actually know about this trick. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're looking up Starlight Arceum Dust right here, and you'll notice that there's multiple pages of the Starlight Arceum Dust. But if you look at the time, almost all of these auctions are 6 hours. There's some players here who have listed at the end here, some for 48 hours. The prices are quite high actually though. So they've done it kind of right, but they've also done it kind of wrong. We are still a couple of days early. We're at Saturday here in the North American region. The auction house cutoff won't happen until early Monday, 7 a.m. So they're going to be one of the only few. If you really look at it, if the auction house gets cut off and no one can list items whatsoever, all these 4-hour ones are going to get thrown off of the auction house. They're either going to get purchased or they're going to fall off naturally due to time. And the only thing that's going to be available will be these ones that have 48 hours on there. So all these guys, all these dust will be gone. The only thing that you'll see are these guys right here for 48 hours. That means essentially the lowest price will be 61 silver, and going up from there, there's not going to be a huge supply on the auction house either. So after a few hundred go away, the price then jumps up to 135. You can take a look at the sales history, and you'll see the average is approximately around 55 silver. So when all of the cheaper items, the undercutters, get thrown off of the auction house, the price is already going to jump up to around 63 silver. And then after a little bit of time, after all those have gone, then the price will jump up to a gold and some change. And you can see every single day, around 1,000 or so are sold on the auction house here on Morpheus. Look at some other items to show you the exact same thing. Go in like Apex, for example. Expect huge increases in Apex. So Apex, currently hovering right around 700 gold. But all of these guys are listed for 6 hours. None of these will be appearing on the auction house. The Apex will be completely gone and vacant from the auction house. Apex will still be tradable and shouted out for. So you're not going to see that big of a price increase, but just look at nothing is here is listed for 48 hours. Some of the common things like Dahuta's Bubble, a lot of people actually use these things. So these are all my listings actually as well. There's very few people that do sell them, and when they do sell them, they sell them for 6 hours typically. A couple of us do it for 48 hours. But you'll see the 48 hours ones, they have higher selling prices. buffs, consumable buffs like the Kingdom Hearts, typically get thrown up here for, again, 6 hours because of all the undercutting. The ones that are on here for a longer period of time cost more. And especially, there's a small selection. When all these fall off, the only ones that you can purchase are the ones that are 5 gold each. And then there's ones that are 15 gold each. And occasionally these guys do sell. If you look in the sales history, you can occasionally see some being sold for 15 gold each. Doesn't appear like any's really showing there, but it does happen, and prices will jump. Don't expect it to jump up that high. Don't expect it to be a 3 times increase, but expect if these things are selling generally for 250, when there's no or little competition on the auction house, you can probably sell them for 350 or 4 gold. So there's going to be a nice, probably about 50% increase in goods like this. If you plan ahead, list them for 48 hours, list them in small quantities, small stacks, and you can make a lot of additional money on these things. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button if this helped you out, or if you got any tips, tricks, post them down in the comment section.